Greetings, kings, queens, and nobilities alike. Welcome to the Royalty Party, where the tea is always hot and the magic is always flowing. I'm Bean, and I'll be your host today. As you can see, the festivities have already started. We have our nice live audience here. We are filled up to the bottle with fresh, blessed spring water, good for productivity and new beginnings. Excellent, excellent. It was made apparent to me that our channel might be seen as a drama channel due to the fact we have tea in our name. Now I want to crush those fears and let y'all know we're here to actually drink tea and be royal. We're not here to cause trouble. Speaking of teas, today's tea of the day, I know, I'm so original, is a nice jasmine tea with just a hint of sugar in it. It's good for self-love and anything that might ail you. Just don't put too much sugar in it, it'll turn into syrup. I've made this mistake before. Now, with that all out of the way, why don't we get to our first topic of the day. First off, I'd like to congratulate Jeffree Star, a fellow alien, who has successfully launched his Blue Blood palette. While I unfortunately did not have it in the budget this month to get mine, my girlfriend recently received hers, and by recently I mean today. There are pictures on the Instagram already, you guys can go see that. She looks fabulous, as all people do when they put on Jeffree Star's makeup. Now, I want to reiterate that since I am not a drama channel, we're not going to get into anything that may or may not have occurred due to certain leaks. And I am sure as hell not going to leak the images because that is part of the problem. So no, you will not be hearing about that from me. The next topic of discussion is the makeup palette I was able to afford a couple months ago. Kudos to the Too Faced team for creating the Pretty Rich palette and collection. I was not able to afford all of it before it completely went away, but I was able to get my hands on the highlighter and eyeshadow palette. I love it so far. I am very happy that I was able to get one. Another palette I was happily able to afford, which, by the way, is from Glamlight, which is releasing a burger and taco palette, which this food-loving little shit is absolutely going to get her hands on when they come out. I was able to get the pizza palette because pizza is my life. I love pizza. You guys don't know that about me yet, but I love pizza. Love pizza. Unfortunately, today I am steering away from too heavy of foods, but in some of these episodes you will see me eating things like pasta and things like that. They aren't traditional tea party foods, but we're not a traditional kingdom here, are we, sweet nobilities? So the next segment of today's tea party is story time. Now, today's story is from, I want to say my nerdy days, but I'm still a nerd, World of Warcraft. Now, I have been in some amazingly stupid positions before in World of Warcraft. I tend to hang out on the roleplay servers, so Wormrest Accord, so I faction hop. And for those of you who don't know what that means, it just means I go from the blue faction to the red faction and back, and I like switching it up for different roleplays. Now, most of my stories happen on the red side because of course they do, and all the lore-breaking lore aficionados go there in order to be lore Nazis and murder anybody who even gets it wrong, whether you know you're lore breaking or not. Speaking of lore breaking, you guys want to know how bad this gets? Let me tell you. So, back when I was a baby WoW role player, I didn't know that high elves could not hang out in Silvermoon because there is literally toxic gas to them everywhere. I had no way of knowing where to find lore because unfortunately the wiki doesn't make it easy to figure out the lore of this game. You kind of have to find out trial and error from other people. So this, I believe she was a troll. I mean, she was a literal troll, but she was also the race troll within the game. She comes up next to me. I'm sitting there with my newly made, my roleplay there, sitting there as a high elf. Again, I had no idea at the time, so that was on me for not looking it up, but this bitch decides she's going to come stand next to me, not say anything to me, not tell me what I'm doing wrong, sit there and emote publicly. Ignores this role player for obvious lore breaking. I could not roll my eyes any harder the entitlement and pomposity of some of these horde role players kills me at times, because they will come in, act like,
oh, we know everything, so bow down to us and kiss our feet.
please shoot me. Y'all are pathetic pieces of shit who hang out on WoW and bully people over lore. Ya ain't nothing special. So she sits next to me and she says, ignores this person for obvious lore breaking. And I actually confronted her. I said, hey, I'm new to this, will you tell me what I did wrong? And she's like, you should just know better. And then she blocked me. Which is fine for me, I still got some tail that night. Yeah, I ERP. I am a thirsty girl, okay? So, this lady decides she's going to go walk off and tell her, and this leads into our second story for today. The time, TLDR, I got an entire guild banned from roleplaying with me because the guild leader was a thirsty bitch. Now, I am not gonna fault anybody for wanting some tail, okay? I'm no judgment here. Slut shaming doesn't exist within this kingdom, but this girl is what we would still call a hoe. A hoe is somebody who wants sex to the point where she is really unhealthy about it. I.e.,
I banned my entire guild from roleplaying with you because you're another girl and I want them all to myself.
Her exact words. Her exact words. Yeah, you think the makeup community has drama. Try going to Silver Moon in the middle of the day and war breaking. God, then you will see drama. Holy ever. The pettiness of Silver Moon has no end. And unfortunately, the Alliance side, those of you who know, is not much better. Because all they do is basically say, oh, there is only one way to roleplay, and if you do not roleplay our way, you are a heathen! So both sides has their ups and downs. I will say I enjoy hanging out with people who go back and forth and lore bend, who are more open and creative about roleplaying rather than the stingy Nazis who seem to think they are God's gift to the roleplaying community. I almost wish I had some vodka to go with this tea. Now, with that story time out of the way, which I know you guys probably loved hearing me basically just rant about how stupid people are. So for our last segment, I would like to talk about some services that I offer, and while I know you're probably thinking sexual services because of the ERP thing earlier, that's not where I'm going with this. Nice try, though. I am highly spiritual, and I actually am honored to receive the title of High Priestess within my community. I offer readings, such as oracle card readings, pendulum readings, sigils. I also channel spirits. I am actually most sought after for my spirit work. So, for those of you who want a reading or get you one of those services, I will link my prices in the description. That is all the time we have for today. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here at the Royalty Party. Please stay tuned for next week when we come and have more stories and more news and more congratulations for anything going on at the time. I try to keep up with the times and the news, and I will try to be as here as possible. So thank you for coming. I hope you all had a pleasant time. Blessed be, and may the stars shine upon you. Mwah!